Hi guys, I'm Stefan Rausch. I'm the Managing Director of SONAX Australia and New Zealand. So we do also ride motorcycles, and that's why we need to clean them as well. And we wanted to do a quick tutorial for you how to clean a motorcycle, because it's not as easy as cleaning a car. Now, the ideal day to do this is the day after your ride. The bike must be cooled down, and also maybe in the early morning, the sun is not too harsh. That's a good moment to clean the bike. It's also important for us that you set up the bike correctly. So remove the key from the ignition, put two rags in the exhaust system, and the motorcycle is on two stands, so the wheels are free spinning and we can get in all the areas we want to clean. So now we're going to show you the material we use in the process. So as a first step, we really actually want to give this motorcycle a pre-wash. That's totally optional. That's when you've got the gear here. And that's for a motorcycle that is really dirty, where we need to soak in the dirt a bit before we wash it off. And also if there's a lot of brake dust, then we actually use the SONAX wheel cleaner to actually work on the brake dust and clean the wheels and the calipers, etc., etc. It's very important to use a pH neutral wheel cleaner. Everything else is too aggressive for your motorcycles and for your tires. So then also for the pre-soak, for the foaming, we're going to use Richfoam. It's a fun product to use, got a really good smell. We apply that and really you will see how it activates on the vehicle, and then you can quite easily wash everything down. Don't let the pressure washer do too much of the work. We don't want too hard pressure on your motorcycle as well. You need to protect the bearings and all the openings. You don't want water everywhere. So soaking and with a nice gentle pressure, wash it off, I think is the right way to go. So here for the pre-soak for the brakes and so on, I'm gonna put a little bit of SONAX rim cleaner. You will see it will turn out really nicely. And I'll do the same thing in the rear here. That will look after the wheels. Hi guys, it's been about like 2 to 3 minutes now that we put the wheel cleaner on. So now it's time to snow foam that motorcycle. I'll show you how to do that. When you pressure wash, keep a safe distance with a pressure washer nozzle through the bike, and don't go to the areas like wheel bearings and so on. Don't go too tight. A gentle pressure wash. So for our next step now, we're gonna go and wash the bike with the wash and seal. There's a measuring cap underneath here, so it allows you perfect dosage of this product here. There's a bucket with lukewarm water, or maybe 8 liters or so. I'm going into this 30mm line here, and that should be just nice for what we want to do here. Don't overdose it, don't underdose it. And then we've got a sponge here, and we've got an insect sponge to take off all the insects, and we've got a brush here as well. So wash and seal doesn't foam very much, but that's because of this sealing component that's in that water as well. Let's give it a wash. Wash it from the top down. This shampoo provides very good lubricity to your sponge slides nicely here, and all the panel work here. And you can get into all crevices, but you know, the wash and seal shampoo goes everywhere, and that's a good feeling. You know that the polymer sealant goes into all the small spots and greases. So let's go with the insect sponge. It's a very fine mesh, got a little bit of grit, but it doesn't harm the plastic and the headlamps, especially when you pre-soak everything. Because it comes off quite easily. For this step, I'm just gonna hose it down with the hose pipe. You can already see here the sealing effect of the wash and seal. It's an amazing beading effect. And that's what we want to achieve. It's everywhere, the polymer, everywhere. So now we rinse the tools before we get ready to dry the motorcycle. Bucket of fresh water. This is to rinse our towel in while we're drying the motorcycle. So this towel is really good. It folds up nicely. You can easily wring it. It's not too big for that. And once it's a little bit moist, it really sucks up the water in the best possible way. It does help when you dry your motorcycles if you have compressed air, or also a leaf blower will do. But you need to get the water out of all the small cricks and creases, and that will make it much easier then. Now let's come to the last part of the cleaning process. This is really looking after all the perspex, the headlights, the mirrors, and instrument panels. Now it's very important that you use an ammonia-free window cleaner, clear glass, for instance, from SONAX, because it wouldn't make this here brittle, and it will look after it very well. It doesn't blind it and doesn't make it brittle. And also use, like this one is a cotton weaved microfiber cloth. So this is very, very gentle to all surfaces, especially when you wipe your instruments. You want to do you just don't want to hurt the surface. One thing I've done when I finished with drying this motorcycle, the damp cloth, I actually threw that on top of my helmet, and that really soaks up the plies here quite nicely and allows me to clean it much easier. And then I'm also gonna give this, because it's here right now, just a bit of a clean up here with the clear glass. Perfect. And then this is taken care of as well. So now you remember that we gave the chain a really good blow dry with the compressed air, because we're gonna apply lubrication now. This is key to the success of this motorcycle wash, because if you leave your bike with a wet chain in the garage, it's gonna start to corrode. The corrosion will eat on those little rollers and will actually damage the hardened surface, and your chain is gonna wear very quickly. So rust is really the problem in all chains. In order to lubricate it, we're going to use SONAX SX90. It's like an extreme lubrication product, a multi-purpose product. We've got a targeted and a wide sprayer here. I'm going to use the targeted one, and you will see one of the good features is this even works upside down. So the SX90 has actually got 4 jobs to do, and first thing, it needs to actually remove all the moisture off the chain. Second is it will clean the chain. Third, it will lubricate the chain, and fourth, it actually will corrosion protect the chain in the future. So I'm going to apply this quite generously. That's why it's handy that the back wheel is up in the air. I can move the chain, try to get into all areas here. So that will probably do. And now I'm going to use an old t-shirt, and I'm going to distribute the lubrication nicely, but also wipe off excess lubrication, because we don't want that to fling around and then get onto the back wheel. But this chain is now nicely oiled in all areas, and I think that's what we want to achieve. What else I'm going to do while I've got this in my hands, I'm going to lubricate all these points here, because that will just make it work so much nicer. Also, this switch here is important, and here you can see this is where the upside down function really makes sense, much easier to reach. And this is an expensive switch and an important function, so we want to better look after it. Not yet. Just a bigger thing. Okay guys, now we ended up with a really clean motorcycle. It usually takes about half an hour to do this whole job. In this case it took a bit longer with the filming, but thank you for your patience and watching us. If you like any of the products you've seen, just look at the link in the description, and you can get directly from there to our shop. And otherwise, like, subscribe and comment, and we look forward to hear from you until the next episode. Thank you.